Today will be the very last of these tours, at least for this time period, until maybe some new things happen. It's an exciting time because part of the reason they're closing down the tours is because we have been doing an effective job of helping to restore some peace and to control to this part of the country so that we are able to turn this site and this region back over to the Iraqi people for their own government and for their own care, and to give them back the possession of this precious place. It has been in very good hands for a long time. My friend Deif was out here meeting the tanks that first rolled into this area. When the Iraqi soldiers were running away and telling everybody who lived here, run for your life, the Americans are coming and they're going to kill everyone, Deif said, that's nonsense. They aren't going to kill everyone, maybe just you. And they said, leave unless you want to die. And Deif told them, I'll die sometime. So he stayed and he greeted the people when they first came to tell them this was a very important place and to please not drive their tanks here.
This building, temple, and the name of the temple called Dub-Lal Maj. Maj, this in the Sumerian language. In English it means great. So the meaning of word Dub-Lal Maj, the great platform. This is the oldest arch, and the biggest arch also in Iraq, in the other city called Salmanbag, also in Iraq. But this is the oldest arch, the oldest non-standing archway. Other writing here. Kind of cuneiform, and the name of the language called Sumerian language, but the kind of the writing called cuneiform. On the left hand of the main door, the excavator found a statue of King Ur carrying ball on his head. This means that King Ur he worked with the workers to encourage them to complete the royal palace. This means that the king, he carrying tar or mud on his head. Different in the colors of the walls, different in the kind of the tar between those walls and this wall. Inside the border of this city, you see this material. Because all the things in that time made from clay or from pottery. Here entrance of tomb of king called Amarsin, the grandson of King Ur, son of King Shulgi, Amarsin, who ruled for 8 years, 2047, 2039 years BC. This home of a prophet Abraham, but rebuilt later on original foundations. This big house, 27 rooms, 5 courtyards, 3 stairs, 61 doors. And the reason this house big, because father of Prophet Abraham, merchant of idols. So different in the religions between Abraham and his father. Father of Prophet Abraham, he made the idols and selling it, a merchant of idols. And the Prophet Abraham believed in one God, the God which now believed in most of the religions in the world.
I like to share a story as we are in this last room about Abraham. Abraham is a fascinating person. We don't find out much about him at all until he's 75 years old and God calls him. But I like to believe that God began calling and speaking with Abraham at some time prior to that. But let me back up on that just a minute and say that because Abraham played such a central role in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, there are a lot of stories told about him that fall outside of the Holy Scriptures. In fact, I think maybe this is the room where his idols were set up on display, where people could come and look at them and purchase them. And one day when Tara walked into the room, all of his idols and the pedestals were knocked about and strewn all over, some on their faces, some on their backs, some of them broken. And somewhere in the center of the room, perhaps where I am standing now, there was a large idol with a stick in its hand. Tara came in and looked at the mess. He was shocked and he was angry and he called out, "Abram! What have you done?" And Abram came to his papa and said, "Papa, I didn't do this. The idol did it." And Terah said, "Abram, that's not possible. It is not possible. Idols cannot think. They cannot see. They cannot speak. They cannot move. It's not possible that the idol did this." And Abram said to his father, "Papa, if it's true that idols cannot think, cannot see, cannot speak, cannot move, then why do we worship them?" It would seem that at a very young age, perhaps while he was living in this very home, Abram had begun to experience the validity, the truth of that one living God.